Welcome along to What's the Word in association with Ladbrokes. I'm David Jennings from the Racing Post, and to preview what is going to be an epic weekend of racing, including Enable in the Arc, we've got an all-star panel. I am joined by James Mordaunt from our sponsors Ladbrokes. We've got Brendan Duke, and the familiar face sitting beside me, I'm sure you all know, is Irish racing expert Gavin Lynch. How are you doing, lads?
Good, Dave. How are you?
Big weekend ahead, lads. It's a big weekend ahead. But before we get stuck into the action, we're going to have our Quickfire Questions. And Gavin, the first one is for you. Now, everybody knows that you're a very, very shrewd judge. Well, if they don't, they should, okay? So you're better known for your Cheltenham tips and your anti-post punting. But how has the summer been for you from a punting point of view? Are you in profit or are you in loss for flat racing this summer?
A small profit. Ascot was a bit of a bloodbath, but thankfully Galway kind of restored the balance a bit, so slightly ahead.
Okay, slightly ahead. Yeah. Good, you're happy. You're smiling.
Price of an ice cream.
Price of an ice cream. I'm sure it's more than a few ice creams. I'd say it's a few 99s. Brendan Duke, your question is Enable v Frankel v Sea the Stars over 1.25 miles at York. Who wins? And yes, Enable gets her fillies allowance. So Enable, Frankel, Sea the Stars, 1.25 miles at York. Who wins?
Frankel.
Correct.
No doubts.
Oh, daylight second.
Wow. Okay.
Well, actually, See the Stars at second, just so we get the official 1, 2, 3, and then Enable.
Okay.
Probably with 3 lengths and 3 lengths.
So it's good to see that there's no recency bias there. Very good. Okay, James, your question. What has been the biggest bet on Enable struck with Ladbrokes ahead of her historic arc bid?
We actually haven't had anything huge just yet. There's been a couple of people getting on today and tomorrow. I'd say we'll see the big bets, but there's general liabilities. I suppose a few bets between 3 and 5 grand, about 8 to 11, but feels like she'll go off a bit shorter on the day.
Okay, so there we go. We're going to come to Enable later on, and we're going to find out just how Ladbrokes are taking on Enable. It's obviously a tricky one for punters. So, of course, viewers, it is 3:05 at Longchamp on Sunday. It is the Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. It is the race we've been waiting for all season. So, James, run us through the prices. How short is Enable?
Well, still 8 to 11 about Enable. We'll give Japan a 6 to 1 shot, Sotsas at 7s, Magical at 12s, and Gayat at 12 to 1 as well.
Now, you've been talking to the traders. Are Ladbrokes going to take on Enable on Sunday?
We're going to be competitive without going all out on her, but she's going to be really, really popular, and it's going to be an absolute rotten result if she does go in. But, well, Ladbrokes here in Ireland, we're going to give everyone in the shops their money back second if Enable does go on to win. So, maybe worth taking her on, but we're not going to go mad on it, I suppose. And
Frankie Dettori is your ambassador. You have the inside track on Enable. What is the vibe in the Ladbrokes camp?
Well, we've seen Frankie done a video thing with Nicola McGeady, and he says he's so nervous. He's losing a bit of sleep thinking about this. I think it's just history, isn't it? So we're terrified. I wouldn't like to be taken on Enable personally myself, and I just think she wins, and that's it. It'll be a good swan song for her.
Right, Gavin Lynch. You are the man here to solve this equation because she's 8 to 11,
it's a
okay?
very simple equation, go on.
She's 8 to 11, okay?
Yeah.
You're a punter and a highly successful punter. You've got a really good reputation. 8 to 11 Enable. Are you going to back her at that price?
I just want to ask James, will you give me 4 to 5?
Really?
And I'll back with him now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I mean, she's give or take bomb-proof. Last year she didn't have the best preparation. She only won run before Longchamp. She's 12 in a row. I think the big thing for Frankie, he's saying that he's nervous, is that there's only 12 in the race. I think she's got the ideal draw. She's drawn 9. From what I looked at, there might be 2 front runners. One of the Japanese, Kiseki, and then Gayat. I think Frankie will sit 3rd, and he'll just pull her out 2 out like he did the last 2 years in Shanty and Longchamp, and I think she'll win well, yeah.
You've no problem. If you do get 4 to 5, you think that's perfect?
Yeah, no, I very rarely back odds on, but I back her at odds on.
You'll make an exception for Enable.
Well, she's 13 out of 14, 12 in a row. She's, give or take, bulletproof. She reminds me of like an Altior or a Hurricane Fly. They'll do anything to win. It's like you at the golf.
Well, I do hope Enable is better in the Arc than I am at golf, because I wouldn't be taking 4 to 5 about that. Okay, the question I have for you then, Gavin, our old buddy here, is going to back Enable at 4 to 5. He's going to have a decent chunk on at 4 to 5. What should he be scared of? What are the negatives about Enable, Brendan Duke?
This is a real struggle. I tried with this question. I mean, she's ground versatile. She's tactically versatile. In fact, that's what won it for her last year. It was the tactical versatility.
So these are the positives.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find negatives. So what I've come up with is she was a touch keen in the Eclipse, And she still
Yeah,
won, because that's what she does. Gav's a 12 in a row. She just wins. She was a touch keen in the Eclipse, and she probably hasn't got, you know, the way when See the Stars won the Arc, he ran about 5 or 6 pounds below his best. I don't think she could run 5 or 6 pounds below her best and get away with it the way he did. But I don't think she will. Like, she ran about 5 or 6 pounds below her best last year because of the prep. But she's had an ideal prep this year. Very tough question, that one, David. You know, find the negatives on a horse that's on a 13 winning streak.
So the simple answer is no. There's no negatives.
I can't really find them now.
A bit
Do you
of
back
keenness.
odds on
That's all.
Juki, do you?
I don't back odds on. I haven't got the nerve for it. But I agree with you. I think she should be 2s on.
Yeah, I don't know why she's not 2s on, 2 to 5.
Well, Paul Keeley made the point in the Racing Post today that if it wasn't the Arc, she'd be 1 to 3 rather than 4 to 5. So if the experts are saying it, then maybe we should all be getting stuck in at 8 to 11. James, obviously, with a short price favourite in a big race like this, Labrooks have plenty of other markets. What have you got on offer here? Betting without, winning distances, anything like that?
we've betting without and winning distances available. It's everything is really just who's going to finish second, but it looks as if Japan is the one that they fancy to finish second to enable. We're just updating the markets at the moment, so unfortunately we haven't got the prices available, but yeah, it's betting without, winning distances, and then not to win as well. You can get
So
a
go
market
into
on
the
that.
website on Sunday, you'll get loads of different markets.
Oh, plenty of markets, yeah.
What would you be interested, Brendan? Betting without, Japan is second favourite. Does he deserve to be second favourite?
I don't think so, and I think there might be a bit of an angle here, because what you're dealing with is known knowns and known unknowns, David. And what Ryan Moore knows is that Magical can't beat Enable, but he doesn't know that Japan can't beat Enable, so he kind of has to ride Japan. But should Japan be half the price of Magical? I mean, he's won his last 3 races, but the form of them, every one of them has fallen asunder. So I don't know what happened in York. In fairness, I don't think he was suited by the way that race was run in York either, but Crystal Ocean definitely wasn't. I just don't think he should be half the price of Magical. I understand why Ryan Moore has to ride him, but I would be looking at Magical. I'd be looking at Magical because she's so solid. If you back her without Enable, you're going to be getting something like, what are you going to be getting, 5 to 1 or something each way without. She's not going to be out of the 3 without.
Out of the 4.
She's effectively out of the 4.
And of course, Dunica rides her, and he's unbeaten on her. He's 2 from 2 on her. People will say, oh, well, he hasn't ridden her since the Debutant Stakes, but he rides her in all her work at home. Yeah. So, no man to know her better than Dunica. Gavin Lynch, who's going to finish second to Enable?
I'd maybe think Waldgeist. Is that how you pronounce it? Waldgeist. Sorry for my German, I presume. Or maybe Magical. I think they're a bit of value. Last year, Waldgeist was beaten 1 3/4 lengths, was beaten 2 lengths in the King George.
Got no sort of run last year either. Oh, it's
yeah, and
excruciating.
then it won in Longchamp there a month ago. I think, either of those two.
Okay. I'm a massive Waldgeist fan without. I don't think he can beat Enable.
No.
By God, he's a good horse. And I think 16s, 18s about Waldgeist each way is a cracking bet. Okay, lads. 1, 2, 3 in the Arc. Gavin Lynch, you're 1, 2, 3.
You just need to know the one.
That's fair enough.
Enable, and maybe
It's going to be the preview night talk of ambulances finishing second. And...
Magical or Waldgeist maybe second or third, but
okay,
just back her and you win money.
Excellent. Brendan Duke, you're 1, 2, 3 in the Arc.
I'll go Enable, Magical, and Gayat. I hope this Gayat is as good as he looks. He probably isn't, but I love those horses who run like dirt horses on turf. Just take horses out of their comfort zone, but taking these out of their comfort zone, not easy.
I think he'll finish near last and first.
Quite possibly. He's a prime candidate,
isn't he?
Yeah, he's a prime candidate to bounce, but I'm a hope.
James, you're 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, well, it's going to sound like a broken record. I have the exact same written down here as Brendan Duke put up Enable, Magical, and Gayat.
Okay,
1, 2, 3.
And I'm going to go for Enable, Waldgeist, and Japan to finish third. So there's obviously cracking Group 1 action at Longchamp on Sunday. A whole host of Group 1s. Have we got any betting, James, on the other Group 1s on the card?
Yeah, we have betting here on the Prix de l'Opera when we have Medaya at 15 to 8. Terabellum is at 9 to 2 with you, and Watch Me at 7 to 1, and 12s are bigger about the rest.
I'm a huge Medaya fan. Gavin?
I'd have no bet in the race, but second in the Nassau Stakes, ran around a bit. I wouldn't be into it now.
Okay. It was an extraordinary race, the Nassau, where Hermosa and Medaya just took each other on the whole way. I thought she did well to finish up close to the
very well.
Do you like Medaya?
Well, she definitely wasn't ridden optimally in that race in Goodwood, and she did do very well to stick on.
Okay, so your selection would be Medaya?
It would be Medaya.
Excellent. That makes 2 of us. Obviously, we've got Batash, who is a horse that I am extremely excited about seeing. I think he's the best sprinter I've ever seen. How short is he, James?
4 to 5, so he's not all that short at the moment. So if you're saying if you want to take an odds-on shot at 4 to 5, you'd be happy enough. Taleim at 4-5, Mabs Cross 8-1, Spinning Memories at 10s with Fairyland, who I was very impressed with last time at the Curragh, and then 12's Bar.
Simple yes or no, lads. Batash, does he win?
No. Why
Oh.
would you not be worried about last year?
No.
4th to Mabs Cross.
No. I think he's different horse since the wind operation.
Okay.
You're not.
He's won 2 out of 5 last year, 3 out of 4 this year. Just at odds on, I'd sooner back Enable.
Okay, I'm the opposite actually. I think
Would you?
there's less for Batash. I think he's beaten them so many times, Batash.
Okay.
That I think he'll. Brendan, Batash, yes or no?
Yes, he's been the horse of the season for me, and I think he'll continue on his roll.
Any yes or no from you, James?
I'm going to say no. I think Fairyland is the improver in the field there.
Okay, there we go. Gavin, the best bet on the Longchamp card on Sunday?
Apart from Enable, maybe would Albina have a chance in the Prix Marcel Boussac?
Yes. I did a piece with Jessica Harrington during the week. She was in season in the Moigler and spoke to Shane Foley, and apparently she did a breathtaking piece of work since the Moigler.
It has to be a small worry that will she definitely stay 8 furlongs in soft ground. Her 2 wins were at 6, but the second day she won, she sprinted. I don't know how she won that day. And the last day she was in season. So the only slight question you'd have is will she definitely stay, but she must have a good chance.
Yeah, that's Albina in the opener at Longchamp on Sunday. Now, Brendan Duke, you love your Lucky 15s. Give viewers a Lucky 15 for Longchamp on Sunday.
Well, I don't love Lucky 15s, David. Lucky 15s are for mugs.
Oh.
I'm a Shrewdy.
Oh.
I'm a Shrewdy, and I do Trixies. So I'll give you a Trixie. The 150 Armory, 8 runners. If he's out of the frame, I'll give it up. You're getting 5-1. He's a knocking each way bet. One of the great each way bets.
Okay.
The 430 Batash because he'll win, and the 505, the Prix de la 5, Glorious Journey. I can't have this Glorious Journey at a double figure price. He's an improving sort. He beat Sir Dan Salat the last day. He's far from exposed, and I just can't have him as a double figure price. So
Okay, I'm taking you on with Safe Voyage, who actually ran against Glorious Journey last
I
time.
got really upset before the race. I'll be interested to see his demeanour.
Keen, got warm. I think Safe Voyage. Frankie is booked, stall 2. 7 furlongs, Longchamp, soft ground. Ideal. So there we go. That's your Sunday action at Longchamp. Moving on to the Group 1 at Newmarket on Saturday. It is the Kingdom of Bahrain Sun Chariot Stakes. And James Mordaunt, how did Ladbrokes bet on this?
Yeah, Iridessa just in at 7-2, your favourite at the moment, ahead of Lawrence at 4-1. Voracious 4-1, Hermosa 4-1, so they can't really split the top few. 5-1, Lavender's Blue, and it's I Can Fly 14-1 and 22's Bar.
Where's the money been going since declaration time?
Most of the money's around for Hermosa, to be honest. I think they just think she's going to go on from the front again, and they'll all have to play catch up. But that's been the one we've taken the most on.
Now I'm fascinated to see what you two experts think, because there's a lot of form ingrained here from previous runs earlier on in the season, and I think it'll show what our forgiveness is like. So who are we willing to forgive? Are we willing to forgive Lawrence for her on the last day? Are we willing to forgive Hermosa for a blowout in Goodwood? Or are we willing to forgive Iridessa for her kind of 1 or 2 below par efforts? We'll start with you, Brendan.
Yeah. Phillies be crazy, they can be hard to predict. So
says the single man.
So that's a legitimate question. Lawrence, I think, is the easiest of them to forgive because she almost always runs her race. I really don't know what happened in Leopardstown. Neither did the punters who hammered her into even money. That was a sickening blow. I just think she'll bounce back and run her race. Whether that will be good enough, she's a limited filly. Now, she's very good in her division and what have you, and she should go well. But what about this Lavender's Blue?
Oh, this is your guilty pleasure.
What about the 3? Well, I tell you, she was so good the last day. Now, she'll need to step up again, change the tactics. They obviously weren't happy with what happened in Epsom. Change the tactics, dropped her in. She was amenable to restraint. I just travelled 2 to their 1 throughout the race. Her dam produced her highest RPR on soft ground. She's by Caesar Star. Plenty of them. They like a bit of cut in the ground. Will bring her stamina into play. She'll get a decent gallop to run at here. I think
James, what price is she? Come
I
on.
think the Blue.
He's convinced me. What price is she?
5-1, Lavender's Blue.
5-1. That's skimpy, no?
Well, it's a bit. It is. You're kind of buying into potential or what have you. But geez, she looked really good the last day. She only had 4 runs, David.
Yeah. Gavin, you're potentially the best judge in Irish racing. What do you fancy?
I'll have no bet in the race. I don't try and back too many mares if I can. They're just their form.
Oh, really?
Just their form can
Your
go
wife
down
could
a
be
little
watching
bit.
this.
She could. I doubt it. Look, I think tactics will come into it. Hermosa and Lawrence the last took each other on a little bit in Leopardstown. Didn't give each other a free time. Say Lawrence was a half net ahead. Iridessa came over the top of the end. It beat Hermosa last year. Then Hermosa beat it the Guineas. Don't know, maybe Iridessa, but no bet.
Well, Hermosa for me, because I think she'll just bomb out, make all just like she did in the Guineas. I think we might see the real Hermosa.
Do you think she'll get a solo from Lawrence?
I think Lawrence made the run to Leopardstown and Hermosa sat behind her. I think it'll be reversing of Rose this time. I think Ryan will try and stray them, and I think she's one more chance.
I think if you're on the race 5 times, you get 3 or 4 different results.
And that's why you won't be having a bet?
Yeah.
But I am sure you will be having a bet in the PWC Champion Chase at Gorham Park. The Jumps is back, baby. A very, very good renewal of this grade 2. It's at 4:30. It's at 4:25, so it's rather late in the day. Plenty of household names in here. Do you have a strong opinion?
Well, the first thing is that I would christen it the first day of the National Hunt season. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's very, very good.
And to annoy you, it's 158 days to Cheltenham.
Oh, 158 days.
I think if the ground is soft, Shattered Love will win. She's getting the £7 mare's allowance. She gets £10 off some, £12 and £14 off the top. I think she'll win if the ground is soft. If the ground is good to yielding, Peregrine run. I just watched the first race in Gorham Park today, Friday, and yeah, the ground's not too bad. So I'll have to wait till the very, very end to see if I'll back Shattered Love, depending on the ground.
Okay.
Her record, by the way, just to say, October 16, first time back, she won. She won again in 17. Last year, she was second to Snow Falcon on good to yielding and Down Royal. So I think the ground beat her. So her first time back record is very good.
Okay, that's interesting. I don't think you've mentioned the winner yet. Brendan Duke, what do you like in this?
Well, I hope we have mentioned the winner because I like Shattered Love. I just think that there's 6 mils of rain predicted tomorrow afternoon as well.
Yeah.
I just think when you look at that run last year against Snow Falcon off level weight, she's getting £12 off from tomorrow. The record fresh is a good thing. Last season finished with a bit of a whimper, but they're surely going to have her pretty straight for tomorrow. I mean, how many races can she realistically win this season? Yeah. This is one of them.
Well, Gordon would usually have the horses quite straight first time back.
I thought everything was in her favour.
Her record before Christmas is definitely better than it is after Christmas.
I just thought maybe this was Snow Falcon's Gold Cup. Noel's horse are flying, always has them ready this time of year. Ground perfect, good record fresh. I know there's the weight difference with Shattered Love, but I don't know.
I think the ground is the biggest thing. Is that fair?
Yeah. No, certainly. So it's 2 votes for Shattered Love.
Yeah.
And I'm in the Snow Falcon camp. Obviously, how many days to Cheltenham?
158.
158. It's a good distance away, but I'm sure there's been a little bit of interest. James, any money for anything in the Gold Cup or Ryanair market?
There's been a little bit about for Jet for the Ryanair, not so much for the rest of these.
God.
Can we get their names, please?
Jet to win
write them a
Ryanair.
strongly worded letter.
Would be the right name, wouldn't it?
Well, I can tell you, we've seen a bit of money
what you
actually
did
for jury duty again for the Grand National, but he was well back last time and was on ship very early, but I'm not sure. It doesn't seem to be any real contenders for either of those coming out of this race.
No.
I like that one, Gavin. Jet and Ryanair. Yeah, that's quite good.
That's
Okay,
good.
the rest of Saturday we've got racing absolutely everywhere. Unbelievable Saturday race. We've got Newmarket, Gorham Park, Ascot, Redcar, Fontwell, Wolverhampton. Anything you really fancy strongly, Brendan?
Well, the sand. I mean, 310 Ascot, heavy ground, 7 furlongs in Ascot. It's raising sand, right? Now, he's gone up £6 since his last win at Ascot. But how many horses in these races are actually well handicapped? He's not. There is a 3-year-old in the race, which is a bit of a wrinkle I wasn't expecting. And it's a John Gosden trained 3-year-old. But raising sand, there's 18 runners. He's 5-1. Each way, there is just it's inconceivable that he'll finish outside of the 4 tomorrow.
There you go.
To me, just
inconceivable.
Just back him each way under his optimum conditions, and he'll tough it out and win again.
Okay, interesting. Gavin, obviously Gorham Park, you'll be honing in on Gorham. Great day's racing, some very familiar faces in action. What's your strongest fancy on the card?
I fancy a few Sunday. Tomorrow, I can't really see many bets because of prices. Dallas to Pictons will win, but it'll be 2s on. Run Wild Fred might win the maiden hurdle over 2.5. Who won 2 bumpers. But I don't like maybe backing them at the price. So I'll see on the market, but not much tomorrow, no.
Anything you like at any of the tracks, James?
I really like White Moonlight in the 250 at Newmarket tomorrow. I just got up very, very late in the day at Kempton on its debut, was slowly away, and I just think he'll improve, step up to the mile after the 7 furlong trip around Kempton, and should take all the beating under Roisin Murphy.
Okie doke, so before we go on to Sunday's action, it's time for a Saturday banker, lads. James, if you had to just have one bet on Saturday, what would it be?
It's going to be Lawrence.
Lawrence.
I've put her up a few times on this
in the
show.
325 at Newmarket, Sun Chariot Stakes. Brendan Duke.
Girl Blue. Lavender's Blue in the 325 Newmarket.
Okay, these are taking each other on. Gavin Lynch.
Maybe DXB and the Prix de Cadran maybe tomorrow.
Okay, that's that Longchamp. And I'm going to go for Silver Line taking on your Raising Sand in the 310 at Ascot. I think Silver Line has got a cracking chance. So moving on to Sunday, and Gavin, you obviously told us already that you've been really giving this Sunday card a bit of a look. You like the look of it?
It's an interesting card every year because you have a good mixture of National Hunt and Flat. Watch out for late money in the first race. There's been a couple of gambles from Ballydoyle in that race before. Aidan has 3 in it. All the big jockeys are gone to Paris, so just watch the market late on in that one. In the third race, Yulon Gold Fairy is now trained by Jim Bulger, won the race last year. If the ground ended up very soft, that might have a chance, might be a price. The 3 I fancy the most on Sunday is David's Charm in the Conditions Hurdle. Loves a fast run race, so Petite Mouchoir will make it, second will Ballyosheen, and hopefully David's Charm will sit in behind. In the next race, Charles Burns, one of the best trainers of my lifetime, trains Turnpike Trip, Novice Hurdle, 2 mile. It beat Willie Mullins hot the last day in the stole. I think that may win again. Jake Peter, I thought it'd win. It's off 114 over hurdles. It's rated 88 in the flat. I got bet the last twice over 2.5, but it travelled really well, so I think 2 miles it suited probably better. And maybe the Little Yank in the bumper had a good run. We just watched the winner in Gorham Park. Fahy's horse was second to that, so
we for now,
yeah. So I think that getting the weight from the winners, I think the Little Yank might win.
Excellent. Brendan Duke, anything you like on the Tipperary card?
Well, I thought Gavin was going to do all my work for me. 2:30 Yulon Gold Fairy for the reasons already discussed. 3 o'clock David's Charm for the reasons already discussed. And the 4:35 Moon over Germany, who's a wicket jumper.
Will he stay?
Particularly for, I think he'll improve the trip.
Okay.
So, we have a clash.
Oh.
We have a clash. That's
No,
what you do, Gavin Lynch.
Yeah, just his 3 wins have been over.
No, absolutely.
2-ish,
No, it is a question mark. But I think it's just his jumping is so accurate and he's a very relaxed horse. I think
Flat track could suit him.
Yeah, absolutely. James, anything you like on Sunday?
Just Fairyland in the big race at
You're a big Fairyland fan.
I am a big Fairyland fan.
Excellent. So now it's time for our 3 bets of the weekend. We've racing everywhere, lads. This is going to be hard to narrow it down. So I just want your best 3, Gavin.
Sunday in Tipperary, David's Charm, Turnpike Trip, and Jake Peter. Do the 3 of them in a Trixie.
Okay, so we're going to have to wait for Sunday at Tipperary for the best bets according to Gavin Lynch. Brendan Duke, 3 for the weekend, which I might say your recent record has been phenomenal.
Oh, that's very kind of you,
Yeah, no
David.
problem.
Yeah. Well, let's prove it's a fluke this weekend with the 3:25 Newmarket Lavenders Blue, the 3:10 Ascot Raising Sand, and the 1:50 Longchamp Armory.
I fear there could be a 0 out of 3 this week.
Well, I mean, it's inevitable. I'll come crashing back to it, but not this weekend.
James, your best 3 for the weekend?
Yeah, I'm going to give 2 on Saturday. Lawrence in the 4:25 Newmarket. White Moonlight 2:50 Newmarket, and then I'm going to give you 1 on Sunday, Fairyland in the Prix de l'Abbé.
Excellent. So there you go, folks. That has been this week's edition of What's the Word. I've been David Jennings, he's been James Mordaunt, he's been Brendan Duke, and he's been Gavin Lynch. Enjoy your weekend.